was a proud inductee last year's ceremony. On behalf of the GCABA board, I'd like to thank everybody for attending tonight and for this landmark 30th anniversary celebration here at Low Pizzeria. I'd also like to welcome those watching. Tonight's event is being live streamed on TV Mike's Billiard Net TV. So we do have some folks watching from afar as well. A couple of our inductees tonight have a lot of family out of town, so hopefully they enjoy the evening. Real quick, a couple of housekeeping items. If you could, please silence your phones if you haven't already. The little colored food tent that was in your name tag represents your food choice tonight. If you place that in front of you, the servers will get your food to you as quickly as possible. When the ceremony is over, there will be a box up at the front door to put those name tags in when you're done. Chris Baraglia is working the 50-50. He will be working that here through dinner. We'll be making a last call during dinner for that, and the winner will be picked later tonight. The winner does need to be present to win. GCABA does not need the money back, so don't feel like, hey, I don't want to win this thing and then have to give the money back. We don't want any of it back, so feel free to play and take that money home with you. We're going to be doing our second one-of-one cue raffle. McDermott has provided us with a one-of-one cue for the second year. We're going to be selling 100 chances on that cue. The ticket prices on those are $25 per or 5 for 100. We will be offering that price through for everybody at the banquet for a few more days after the banquet. After that, we're going to open up to the public at a higher rate. There are Cash App and PayPal options available up here by the queue. If you have any questions, look for Dick Mosia. He'll be happy to answer those for you. At the conclusion of tonight's banquet, for the first time in 30 years, we're going to be doing drawings for some door prizes. So you will have to be eligible. You're here present to win. We will also tonight be giving away a chili popper jump cube that was donated kindly by Randy Denninger. So stick around for that. That's the premier door prize tonight. All winners must be here present to win. So once again, we're delighted to see so many familiar and new faces at this banquet as we look forward to adding 4 new inductees into our prestigious Hall of Fame here at Pizzeria. This evening we will be closing the bar prior to the induction, so please plan accordingly and, as always, drink responsibly. At this time, I'm going to ask Stephanie Massingill to come up and bless our meal. As soon as we are done with the meal, we will get the ceremony started. Thank you, Stephanie. Enjoy your meals. This is going to be the last call on the cash bar. Last call on the cash bar. we can get everybody back towards their seats, we're gonna try to get things rolling here. Ryan Frank told me Karen wants to go home and watch the Bills tonight, so we're gonna keep going. We're going to get started here. Sound check in the back. You sound okay back there? A little louder? Good there? Everybody here okay? A little louder yet? How's that? Okay, thank you. Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed their meals. Before we start the inductions, I'd like to introduce my fellow board members. In January, we recruited 4 new members to join our group. We'll be moving into new officer positions after tonight's banquet. They have been excellent additions so far to our organization. Cannot thank these members enough for the hard work, dedication, and time they commit to our organization along with their families for allowing them to do so. First board member I'd like to recognize tonight is Dick Mosia.
So they're going to put that on the site? Oh, okay.
Dick is our secretary and treasurer. As you know,
That's neat then.
the person who handles the money is the most important person in any organization. Dick runs our Facebook page, our website, GCABA.org, as well as laying out the programs that we distributed tonight. Check out our website. It is a comprehensive history of Canton Pool. Dick has poured a lot of effort into that. Check it out. It is something to see. Dick is a founding member of GCABA and has served on the board for over 25 years. Next is Jim Wayne. Jim has been battling an extended illness and could not attend tonight. Jim has served as our vice president. He has also served as the vice president of the Greater Canton Amateur Sports Hall of Fame and represents us there as an executive board member. Jim's passion for pool and our organization is unmatched. GCABA is thankful and indebted to him for his contributions and tenacity to make GCABA the best that it can be. Jim has served on our board for 25 years and is also a founding member of GCABA. I'm sure Jim is proudly watching from the stream, and we all wish him a speedy recovery and look forward to seeing him here again at next year's banquet. Next is Dave Schneider. Dave has served as a senior board advisor. Dave was also a founding member of GCABA and our organization's first president, serving in that position for 17 years. His hard work and leadership in our association's infancy paved the way for the progress we've shown tonight. Simply said, GCABA wouldn't exist today without his leadership early on. Dave has been a GCABA board member for 25 years. Next is Brian Frank. Brian also serves as a senior board advisor. Brian is one of our area's most respected players, and his insight is invaluable to our organization. Brian has served on our board for 13 years. He and his helpful staff at Visual Edge IT are responsible for these great programs we have distributed tonight. We cannot thank him and his staff enough for their help every year in putting the program together. Thank you, Brian. Our next member is Artie Welsh. Art brings a lifetime of pool playing, passion, and experience to our board. Art is active in running leagues and tournaments and provides perspective to the board on players from all generations, and we're thankful for his excellent contributions to our organization. This is Art's 4th year on the board. Art Welsh. New to our board this year and taking over as treasurer-elect is Larry Runyon. Larry's years of business experience in running pool leagues should serve GCABA well for years to come. Larry has long been a supporter of GCABA and will be a stable force in helping foster the new era for GCABA. First off, congratulations are in order for our next new board member, Julie Skripek, who won the VNEA State Masters 8-ball singles championship and was a member of the winning Ladies Masters team back in April. Julie joined GCABA this year as secretary-elect. In addition to being a top player in our area, Julie brings a background in education to GCABA, which will help her make a seamless transition in her new role. She has already immersed herself in her new role with GCABA, and it has been impressive to see the effort she has already contributed. Julie Skripek. Taking over as Vice President-elect of GCABA and liaison to the Amateur Sports Hall of Fame will be past inductee Al Massengill. Al brings years of experience around the game and is known for his sportsmanship and fairness. He will be a perfect sergeant of arms for our organization for years to come. Al Massengill. Our final addition to the board this year is President-elect Chris Baraglia. Chris's passion for the game, go-getter mentality, and philanthropic heart make him the perfect guy to lead GCABA in the upcoming years. I've enjoyed working with Chris in this transition and cherish our friendship. I cannot wait to see what the future holds with Chris leading this group. Chris Baraglia. And finally, I'd like to recognize my beautiful wife, Christy. She does so much preparation for this behind the scenes for me to get me ready to come up here and mumble and fumble like I do. But much of tonight wouldn't be possible without her help, so I just wanted to thank her. Christy. Okay, so over 31 years ago, Dick, Dave, and Jim created GCABA with a simple premise to bring recognition to our local pool players who deserve it. I think it is fair to say that their vision has been a huge success. I was a board alternate when GCABA was launched, and I witnessed firsthand all the work that they put into making tonight possible. I'm sure any past inductee would tell you what the honor of being inducted into the GCABA Hall of Fame means to them and their families. After celebrating 30 years, I thought it was time to pass the torch to a new group of leaders to build upon the foundation they have built. So fellows, on behalf of the local pool playing community, thank you for all your vision, tireless work, and leaving a legacy for all of us who love competing in this sport. Thank you. Tonight joining us as well is Jose Rente. who is the president of the Greater Canton Amateur Sports Hall of Fame. Under Jose's leadership, the hall has never looked better than it does today. He's worked tirelessly at the hall, which has been recently renovated and remains a Canton treasure full of sports history. Take time to visit the hall and check out our fantastic display in the Billiard wing that was renovated recently by Al Massengill and his Hammerhead Construction Company. We will be updating our exhibit with the new inductees plaques later this week. Jose Ron. Okay, just one final order of business before we meet our past inductees with us tonight, and before we do the inductions. Please support the businesses that were kind enough to provide an ad in our program. Most of them do that knowing the return is probably not coming, but they do it to support our organization. So if possible, if there's a chance that you can help support them, including Clark & Son Billiard Supply. Feel free to do so, but keep that in mind as you look through that book. This evening, I'm proud to announce that we have 32 past inductees of our Hall of Fame with us tonight. As in years past, we would like to acknowledge and celebrate each one of them. So let's quickly meet them. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Our first inductee and his late father, Bill, moved Clark & Son Billiard Supply from the basement of the family's home to a storefront in 1966. 59 years later, he is still active in the daily operations of the business, which is the oldest billiard supply in the state of Ohio. For over 40 years, he has sponsored the area's pool leagues and benefit tournaments, and he was also one of the founding members of GCABA. From the class of 1999, Tim Clark Sr. One of the few inductees that have been enshrined for both their play and promotion of the game, our next inductee was on several championship teams in the Maston Tavern Pool League while serving as a league officer, and a bar owner sponsor for more than a decade. One of the most liked players in our area, from Maslin, class of 2001, Mike Gerhardt. After retiring from the Marine Corps, our next inductee purchased the Loop Cafe in 1995 and became one of the area's top sponsors by supporting as many as 17 teams in a season. Throughout all of the league organized systems, he had teams every day. Loop Cafe soon became one of Canton's top pool locations. He sponsored a yearly Toys for Tots pool tournament that annually raised thousands of dollars in cash and toys. He also ran the Clark & Son Monday Night Pool League for several years. From the class of 2003, Mr. Ray Dover. Watching on the stream again tonight, our next inductee began playing pool on 9-foot pool tables in pool rooms and bowling alleys long before pool league play was developed in what we now call the golden era of Canton pool. A great player at all variations of the game, he would win 5 Canton Billiard League championships, along with having several runner-up and third-place finishes. He would become a key cog in many of the area's top teams over the years, and in 2019, he became the first and only player to shoot a perfect match in the Elam VNEA Music Pool. From the class of 2003, our good friend, Jim Wayne. Our next inductee has been one of the area's top players of all disciplines of the game for over 50 years. He's won several titles in the Canton Billiard League over the years. He's also won MVP awards in the VNEA Gold and Masters Division. He was a member of 2 VNEA State Championship 8-ball teams and a National Team Open Championship. In 1997, he was selected as an All-Star at the VNEA International Championships in Las Vegas against some of the world's best bar table competition. From the class of 2003, Dave Schneider. Our next inductee has been known as one of the classiest players both on and off the table in our area for decades. He is also known for having the uncanny ability to make razor-thin cut shots that look impossible. He led his legendary Walnut Road Cafe team to a championship in the Maslin Tavern 8-Ball League in 1983, along with 3 other runner-up finishes during the 5-year period from 1983 to 1988. The incomparable Johnny Ray. Stand up. Thank you. One of our area's most charismatic players is also one of the most accomplished players to hail from the Maslin area. This player has been a fixture in many games and league competition for over 50 years. And still going strong. He's been on over 20 championship teams in the Maslin Tavern 8-Ball League, spread out over 4 separate decades. He's played over 50% of the league's championship matches since its beginning in 1980, while never shooting below a 70% winning percentage. He was also a member of the 2017 BNEA State Open Championship 8-Ball team from the class of 2005, Maslin's favorite son, Jim Krensman. Our next inductee is the definition of a pool ambassador. He spent his pool playing career dedicating time and energy to promoting the game and playing it equally. While running the Canton Billiard League for over 4 decades, he has won several titles in a highly competitive league. He also has the distinction of captaining 2 BNEA State 8-Ball Championship teams, both in the Open and Masters division. In the class of 2005, Dick Osea. A staple of the Canton pool community for over 40 years, our next inductee was a fixture on championship teams in the Maslin Tavern 8-Ball League and Canton Louisville leagues, while picking up some MVP awards along the way. He was on several teams that placed very high in state and regional tournaments as well. And maybe nobody's played more games of pool than this inductee. From the class of 2008, Mr. Don Bailey. She was just the 3rd player to be inducted for achievement into our Hall of Fame. A member of multiple first-place group cafe teams in the local ranks, the teams also placed high in state play as well. She was the female MVP of the highly competitive Canton Louisville Mixed League in 2003 before retiring from competitive pool shortly thereafter. From the class of 2009, the lovely Kathy Becker. Happy welcome back to a Hall of Famer that was a constant on the Canton League and tournament scene for over 20 years. A winner of countless single events in our area and a member of some of the area's toughest teams. He was a member of the first 2 BCA team championships in the BCA League when it was started in 2001 and 2002. He was a member of the 2001 team that would win the BCA State 8-Ball Championship. From the class of 2010, Mr. Mark Cutshall. Coming up through the pool room ranks, our next inductee competed against legends Don Willis, Barry the Head, Meredith Kokodash, and 8-time world champion Nick Martin. In the Canton Billiard League, he won the Straight Pool Championship in 1992 and followed up with a 3rd place finish the very next year. After taking a 14-year hiatus from playing, he returned in 2008 and took 2nd in the Straight Pool League. Still today competing against some of the top players in our area from the class of 2010, Mr. Bob Martin. A respected and long-standing member of the local pool community, our next inductee has likely played more tournaments than any other player around. He also had success in money matches and leagues all over the region. Mostly known for his tournament wins and success, he's been equally influential as a mentor to many of the young players coming up, as well as many of our GCABA Hall of Fame members. From the class of 2012, Mr. Darrell Tran. Another prodigy from the Maslin Tournament League structure, Our next inductee has been a rock steady performer and a regular finalist in all of our area's league systems and singles tournaments. As a member of several championship teams in the Maston Tavern 8-Ball League, he also put together an impressive string of 6 consecutive MVP awards in the Mixed Team 8-Ball League and several top 10 titles. After his GCABA induction, he was a member of the 2017 VNEA State Open Championship team. From the class of 2014, Mr. Tim Warner. An icon of women's pool with accomplishments that are too many and lengthy to discuss now. Our next inductee has been one of Ohio's top female players since the 1980s. She has won or placed in several VNEA International Championships and is a member of the prestigious VNEA International Pool Hall of Fame. In addition to her play, she ran the local VNEA charter for 30 years and has done as much as anyone to help grow organized pool in our area, especially within the women's segment. In the class of 2015 was Shelley Pearson. Arguably one of the area's top players over the last 40 years, our next inductee has been one of the fiercest competitors you will find. He has been a constant on local teams that have won over 20 titles in state, regional, and national events dating back to the late 80s. In single events, he has a sparkling record as well, including many high finishes in pro-level events. From the class of 2016, the impeccable Brian Frank. Long known for being where the action is, our next inductee would become a regular at all of the area's pool tournaments and leagues. From the mid-'80s through the early 2000s, he would captain his Iceman teams that would dominate the local leagues and would go on to win countless state and regional team events. Often a league MVP as well, he earned the nickname the Iceman for his knack for winning games when the stakes were the highest. From the class of 2016, the original Iceman, Buddy Howard. Another of the prodigies from the historic pool room inside the College Bowl, our next inductee competed head-to-head against many of his fellow Hall of Famers at that location. After having moved to Columbus from Canton, he joined teams that would win titles in the local APA, BCA, and VNEA leagues. He was a member of a third-place team in the VNEA International Team Championships in Las Vegas in 1997. In 2022, his team won the VNEA BCA Columbus City Championship, and in 2023, he won the fall session of the Columbus Straight Pool League. From the class of 2017 all the way up from Columbus, Mr. Dan Catley. Since coming to the area in 1993 from the state up north, go blue, he has been a fixture. Had to get it in there, I had to get it in. He has been a fixture in high-end singles and team competitions throughout the region. After dominating the Bell Music League in Akron, he was asked to leave the league and told to come try the better competition of the Canton area. He became a member of the VNEA State 8-Ball Championship Fiddlesticks team in 2013 and the VCA State 8-Ball Championship team in 2016. He also had several high finishes in both singles and teams events in Las Vegas, including the 5th place team finish in the VNEA International 8-Ball Open Championships in 2022. He has the distinction of being the only captain to reach 3 consecutive final matches in the VNEA State 8-Ball Championships AA Masters Division. From the class of 2018, the debonair Al Massengale. Our next inductee began playing pool in Canton in the 1960s during the golden era of pool, when the area was flush with pool rooms and bowling alleys that housed 9-foot tables occupied by serious players. He became a 2-time university champion at the University of Akron. After a successful run of competing in tournaments throughout Ohio, he started to compete again in our area in 2006 and won both the 9-ball and straight pool divisions in the highly competitive Canton Billiard League. From the class of 2019, Mr. Rod Shepko. Another player from Canton's Golden Arrow Pool in the legendary pool room inside the College Pool on Market Avenue. This inductee competed against all the area's top players from that time, most of whom are members of our Hall of Fame. He was best known for playing 9-ball, and you determined who won by who had the most money at the end of the match. A highly respected player both on and off the table by all of his peers in his competitive days. From the class of 2019, Mr. Tom Skella. And annually, GCABA would like to thank Tom and his family for their contributions to GCABA. Generous donations help maintain the building there. The Family Foundation has been supporting the organization for some time now, and GCABA really appreciates that. Thank you very much. Next inductee from 2019 is another fixture and constant in the area pool scene for over 40 years. He has won over 250 singles tournaments, 17 league MVP awards, has had membership on 30 championship teams throughout our league system. He finished 5th in the 2004 VNEA State 8-ball single division and is still adding to his remarkable resume. In the class of 2019, Mr. Art Welsh. Our next inductee has cemented her place as one of Ohio's top female players. She's won countless APA Top Gun MVP awards, countless single tournaments, including the 2019 VNEA Masters State 8-ball Championship. In addition to her sparkling singles record, she has been on several championship teams as well, including the Team NPL Championship in 1993. From the class of 2020 with us tonight is Penny Voss. Next is one of the area's most recognized and accomplished players of all time. He's competed and had success at the highest levels of organized pool for over 4 decades. From playing the road as a teenager to now operating the region's top billiard room, Fiddlesticks Billiard Cafe, he's edged his place on the Mount Rushmore of pool in Canton. From the class of 2021, the legendary Chris Zuber. For those who couldn't see in the front of the room, he fell off his chair. Must have won a bet. Glad he's okay. He isn't young anymore. Our next inductee was a key member of the Hideaway Lounge pool team that dominated the Maston Tavern League in the 1990s. During that time, he would win 3 MVP awards and lead the league countless times in year-end awards for most 8 on the breaks, most weeks 5-0, and most rack runs. He would go on to prove his standing as one of the area's top players by winning the VNEA Gold Top 32 tournament on 2 separate occasions against the best players the area had to offer. From the class of 2022, Mr. Mike Jones. A sparkling career that has now spanned over 35 years of time and still going strong has ensured our next inductee's status as one of the area's top competitors in sports. Team championships and MVP awards in all the local leagues, state BCA team championships, and a BCA regional team championship are just a few of his highlights. Equally as impressive, he won the VNEA Glenn Glover Sportsmanship Award as voted on by his peers, exemplifying the respect the pool community has for him. From the class of 2023, straight shooting Gerald Baxter. Our next inductee is a local tournament regular and winner. He has a 3rd place finish in the VNEA State 8-ball Singles Championships and was a member of a 7th place team in the VNEA International Team Championships. In one season, he won MVP awards in the Clark and Son Monday Night League, the Camp Louisville League, the VNEA League, and the Maston Tavern 8-ball League, a feat rarely, if ever, accomplished. from the class of 2023, Mr. Jan Gates. Our final inductee tonight has one impressive resume. His teams dominated the Clark and Son Monday Night League, Camp Louisville League, and PNA League for close to a decade in the 1990s. Countless single wins and MVP awards were won during that time as well. He was also a member of the iconic Icemen team that won regional events in Sandusky and Youngstown, as well as being the first team from Canton to win the BNEA Open State 8-Ball Championship before the divisions were separated. After retiring from competition at age 28, he returned to the tables 22 years later in 2023. Since returning, he's won over 150 tournaments. In 2024, he joined the championship BNEA State 8-Ball Masters team and turned in bookending state titles 23 years apart. Welcome back from the class of 2024, Charles Gunk Clendenin. And that concludes our past inductee introductions. Thank you for your continued support of the organization and this year's inductees. It is always great to see all of you each year. At this time, I'd like to have a moment of silence to remember the past inductees that we've lost. This year we lost past inductees Pat Forkin and Gene Strader. And just recently, we lost a beloved member of the GCABA family with the passing of Karen Zuter, wife of Hall of Famer Steve Zuter, and mother to Hall of Famer Chris Zuter. We know they are here with us tonight in spirit, and may they rest in peace. Thank you. Okay, so let's meet our new class. Tonight's inductees will receive a plaque of their own, a plaque that will be permanently on display at the Amateur Sports Hall of Fame on Market Avenue, a citation from the Honorable Mayor of Canton, Mr. Bill Scheer, and a certificate of recognition from the Amateur Sports Hall of Fame. Please be respectful during these speeches, staying seated and eliminating any table talk. Thank you. Our first inductee tonight will be Jim Alberta. Jim's presenter tonight was to be his best friend and longtime teammate, Earl McDonald Jr. Earl passed away after an unexpected, short-term, aggressive illness on July 1st. After much thought and consideration, in light of Earl's passing, Jim couldn't see anyone else presenting him. Jim would like us to have a moment of silence for Earl and his friends and his family before receiving his induction. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Jim Alberta.
Didn't make a speech for today. At this point in my life, I don't speak all that great, so bear with me if I read a lot of this, considering the circumstances. Thank you, everyone, for the reverence and respect that you showed my brother from another brother, Earl Mac McDonald Jr. So today is a little bittersweet without you here, brother. Celebrate this achievement with me. let me say how grateful and humble I am to GCABA board members for selecting me for induction into the Hoff this year. To be included or even mentioned in the same breath as those that have been inducted before me is definitely one of the greatest honors and achievements in this game. We all have so much that I have achieved. It's definitely been a journey of love for this amazing game that brings me here today, and I would like to tell you a little bit about that journey. My first introduction into pool was in my grandparents' farmhouse basement when I was only about 7 years old. And it was most likely just a Sears and Roebuck cruddy catalog table. It wasn't anything from Clark and Sons, that's for sure. But it really doesn't matter. The sounds of the balls clacking together and rolling down those metal returns and clunking loudly into the collection bin had me hooked instantly. And fast forward about 10 years to my junior year in high school, I started hanging out in the Kent State bars with my best friend at the time, who was a freshman there, well-known sports person himself, played hockey and baseball for Kent State. Started hanging out in the bars there, and lo and behold, I could play pool pretty decent. And back then, everyone played for $1 or $2 or drinks. It was very, very common not to do that. And I was stacking up drinks at dollars pretty good, so it kind of dawned on me like, might want to continue playing this game a little bit. Fast forward a couple more years, in my freshman year at KSU myself, and I took a billiards class as an elective. They actually had one. And I ran into an older gentleman there who was a straight pool fanatic and a very good player. I wish I could remember his name to this day, but I do not. Not any of us here. But taught me a lot about the game, and that was my first introduction into like a little better level of pool. The year was 1987, and the next step on my journey was the discovery of the mecca of the game in Akron, known as Starcher's Billiards. Walking in there for the first time to all the sights and sounds of 20 tables of people playing and gambling hooked me even more. So much so that I took a job there working nights. Dottie was almost like another mother to me. And this is where I really cut my teeth on the game and learned a lot. So I would like to recognize some of the players that were my major influences and inspirations at the time. And at the top of that list, unfortunately, I don't think he's here tonight. I wish he was my buddy Mario Salidi. He was simply the best of the best. For those of you that got to see him in his prime in the late 80s and into the 90s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He was like poetry in motion on the table. To this day, I think the greatest shot I've ever seen in pool was by Mario against Earl Strickland in one of the big tournaments there, where he made a full table jump shot, basically a spot shot from full length of the table into one of the corners, and eventually beat Earl that day. I believe the score was 11-7. Other major influences and inspirations read like a who's who of local champions, including Chris Zuder, Troy Frank, George Kieselet, Kenny Kay, Dennis Jackson, Jerry Wolf, Mikey Vero, and the list goes on and on. Many of those people are GCABA members themselves, if not all of them. Undoubtedly, the most important person I was fortunate enough to be introduced to at Starchers was a young lady named Valerie who would become my future wife. It bestowed upon me the two greatest gifts I have received to this day, my daughter Rachel and my son Matthew. I love you guys. I definitely wouldn't be standing up here today if it wasn't for you guys. Allowing me to take the time away from family to pursue my goals and dreams in this game. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. In 1993, we got married. And I basically quit this game to start a family and a career. Fast forward another 7 years or so to the next step of my journey, when around the same time my wife was telling me I need to get out of the dang house and maybe go play some pool to release the stress from a pretty high stress job. I met my soon-to-be best friend, Earl. It didn't take long to realize we both loved this game. I don't know why, but he asked me to join his pool team, even though he didn't know a damn thing how I played. Thank God he did. Of course I said yes. And the rest is history. That brings me before you today. I made it, brother. I love it, mission. Couldn't have done this without you. And I will see you again.
What a speech that was. Wow. Congratulations, Jim, on this award. Not many love the sport of billiards with the passion and zest that you do. This award is well deserved. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Our next inductee tonight is Aaron Zepp. And presenting Aaron is Brian Funk. Still work?
It's all good. All right. Congratulations, Jim. I was just surprised you didn't name me at that, impressed you and... All right. Thank you, Jim. It's all good. It's all good. I have the privilege and the challenge to introduce Aaron Zetley. And if any of you know Aaron, you know why I'm saying it's a challenge, because there's a lot of material. As a matter of fact, I think it was 30 years ago, Aaron came into the pool hall and I was pretty sure I didn't like him. Right? Pretty sure. Yeah. It's because I didn't understand him. Because he came in and he said, "You want to play for $1,000? And I thought, well, you gotta be kidding me. And you know what? He was serious. And so one night, we played for 10 hours, $1,000 sets, and what I found was this guy really likes to gamble. And it wasn't so much a competition, because when I was thinking about how to describe Aaron, I kept on thinking about gambler, competitor, promoter, and he's all those things, but he's really an enigma to me, because along with being all those things, he's loyal, he's honest, he has integrity, he's my friend. And over 30 years, we've done a lot of gambling together. And every time, whether we win or lose, he comes over, puts his hand up, says, "That was a great time, let's do it again." I realized it was about the game. He just loved the game. He wanted to put something together. And that's why I know that the person I want to gamble with most is Aaron. Because no matter what, I'm having a good time. He's a friend of mine. He's not out to take my money. He's out to compete. I'll never forget the time that we were on the golf course, and I said, "Okay, how much do you want to play for?" He says, $2. I thought, it's gonna be a cheap night. He says, "Press any time." I said, "Okay." I took my first shot, and he says, "I'm pressing." I thought, the 18th hole, my putt was for $720. I was never so nervous in my life. But yeah, well, that's Aaron. And one day we were out on the golf course again, and I could tell story after story. I told Aaron we'd get home for the Bills game, so we're on track. And Aaron and I were playing together, and he's the funnest person to play with. And he sees a gaggle of people out there, and he says, "I bet they're gambling, let's go." Okay, let's go. And so we go over there, they're playing for $100. They said, "We don't want you to play." He goes, "Come on, just let us buy in." They said, "Okay, the buy-in's $100. He said, "We're in." I said, "Well, man, they're only playing for $100. You just pick them $100 to play." That's how much he likes the competition. So the other thing that has really amazed me about Aaron is he has surrounded himself with the best players in the game. And so Niels, Mika, Corey have all stayed at his house. He's promoted them, he has sponsored them, he's flown them into tournaments because he wants to be around champions all the time. And it's just a gift because they all become friends and they all love the guy. And I can see why, because I was sitting over with their family, by the way, and they tell me that what I already knew, no matter where you're at, if Aaron comes into the room, it's a lot of fun. He makes the room better. And so people ask me, "Who are you playing with there?" I'm playing with Aaron. Because he's as much fun as you can have on the golf course. And so where I mentioned he's a gambler and he's a competitor, the most important thing to me is he's a good man. He's a good heart. And I still don't understand him. But I love him. I do. I love him. So he is one of the best people I know. And so I'm privileged to introduce him.
So I'm not as confident as Ryan. I'm going to hide behind this. Thank you very much, Ryan. It meant a lot. Like I said, this is a hard week for me. You brought up Mika, who's one of my good friends who just passed away this past week. So this has been a hard week for me as well. But how I came about with my gambling and everything that you'd like to mention, I guess it was from poor parenting. When I was 13, 14, and 15, my godfather owned 12 horses up at Northfield Racetrack. So my parents let me go up there during the day, and I would shovel manure all day long, and then come back and get cleaned up, and then my godfather would take me back to the track and give me $50 to gamble. So that was like almost 40 years ago, and every day I was winning $300-400. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm making more than my dad at his job. So because of that, I really love gambling. My parents tried to teach me gambling is horrible. So I was out in Vegas for one of my dad's conventions when I was probably 14 or 15, and I'm like, oh, the slot machines, I need to gamble. So they took money from me to play the quarter slot machines to teach me gambling is horrible. The first slot my mom played for me, well, I had a watch in the back, she won over $100. So then I'm like, oh, I need to do dollar slots. So then my dad took my 100, hoping he would lose it all to teach me gambling was bad, and I think he won like 400 from it. So then I was hooked ever since. Come to find out, when my godfather was passing away on his deathbed, he had to inform me that back when we were winning all that money, he was getting hand and foot signals from the trainers and they were cheating. So I was a horrible gambler. So I realized when I gambled by myself, I was horrible. But I always loved it back then. But I started playing pool at Northgate Billiards. All I knew is I didn't really care that much from pool. I played a little bit with my grandfather, but then I found out that you can gamble at playing pool. I'm like, oh my God, you can gamble at this? I want to play pool now. So then I started playing pool all the time. And then at that time, I went to Akron U, in the game room. We're down there, and people are gambling for money and stuff like that. That's where I ran into Tony Brown, Antonio, and all of them. I used to play people for $1 or $2 a game, and then what I would do is I would play people right-handed for $1 or $2 a game, and then they would want to quit me because they got sick of losing, and then I would say, man, I feel really bad for you. I'll let you go double, I'm not going to play you left-handed. And they're like, man, you're so nice. Well, I was left-handed, so then I would beat them left-handed. So I used to, that's what it was. Back then, too, I used to play with one-piece house cues. Tony Brown used to fix them up. And people wonder why today all my nice cues are all shaped to a point. So if you know me, my ferrules are shaped in. And that's back when I played with one pieces. That's how they were at Akron U, and that's how I thought they were made. Well, Brandon from Fiddlesticks, that does all the cues, is probably the best around. I realize now, Tony just didn't know what the hell he was doing. So all my sticks were like that. Because I played with house cues, I used to wrap them in electrical tape because I would go to the bars and play pool. And a lot of times people would take my sticks because they thought they were also house cues. So I started wrapping them in electrical tape. And then the late Sam Holt, he ended up out of nowhere making me one because they called me the barber pole man. So he made me a barber pole for that. Because of Sam, now all my sticks have wrapping on it as a barber pole. So that's why my sticks are like that and everything. So then actually at Akron U was where Tony Brown introduced me to Nick Barner. I remember the first time I played Nick Barner, he was down there doing an exhibition, and I thought I was the best player ever because I was 3-time Akron U campus champion. So I'm talking crap at this time, like, who's this little guy, Nick Barner, whatever. He's doing all these challenge matches, and he knew I was running my mouth, so everyone he was playing, and then he played me, and I broke and didn't make nothing, and he ended up baking every ball out to embarrass me in front of everyone. But because of that, then I got good friends with him, and also while Nick was down there, that's when Joe Kerr was down there with Niels Spann from Holland. So that's where I first was introduced to Niels. So I started hanging out with Joe Kerr and Niels, and then when Joe got sick, Niels would be here on a 6-month visa from Holland. Joe got sick and really couldn't have Niels take care of him anymore. So we didn't know. I was like, man, I'm thinking maybe he can stay at my parents' house, but it's like, back then it was hard to get my parents to let me have someone come over for a night. How do I say, hey, 6 months out of the year, can we have this? So what I did is I waited for my father to be at work, and I went to my mother. I said, Mom, you know that young, good-looking, strapping European that I have? I go, can he? Yeah, absolutely. So Neil started staying at our house. At the firm that I worked at, we had a pool table in the basement. So Niels would come into work with me. He would train in the basement doing drills while I was at work, and then afterwards we would go to Starcher somewhere to gamble, go on the road and all that other stuff. From then, Niels put the word out how very nice my mother is. So Mika, Fabio Petroni, Rodney Morris, all the guys used to stay at the house, Nick Varner, Jose Perica. So then I started traveling with these guys, staking them in tournaments and all this other stuff. My parents, back then, they would always be like, you guys are idiots. What are you doing? You're going around traveling and gambling at pool. We were in Vegas the one time for my sister's birthday, and we said we're going to go to the pool room and hustle pool, and they're like, you're just stupid. So I took Niels there. There was the owner of the pool room there. The first time we played, we ended up beating them out of $5,000. We came back to my parents, and they're like, what the heck? One of the funniest times was we were at my parents' house. It was one of Niels' last day. I couldn't get any more time off work. So I gave Niels I had 2 cards at the time. I gave him one of my cards and like $4,000. He went on the road, and my parents, on the last day, she made him his favorite dish, pasta fazool. And she's like, oh, how much did you guys lose or whatever? They're just ragging us the whole time. And I'm like, Niels, can you be nice enough and shut my parents up? And he started to laugh. So he stands up, and out of every pocket at the middle of the table, he just started unloading money. And probably put over $20,000 in $20 bills on the table. And I was like, any questions now? So over the years, it's been cool. Been training with a lot of the players. Like I said, Neil stayed with us several times, Corey and all them. So where I actually switched from, I always had the desire to be a professional pool player. Where I switched was the one year I played a lot with Troy Frank. Troy was ranked 4th in the season for the money list. He made $22,000 for that year. And then I said, maybe pool isn't for me. And I also knew Troy was getting staked from his family and stuff like that. So it's a very tough life. So from that moment on, I realized I don't want to be a professional pool player, but I always loved the sport and I loved to gamble, so I started being the stake horse for the players. I've had a lot of good things with all the guys. We've won money over the years. The cool thing was in 2002, Niels invited me and my parents to him getting inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame. So that was amazing. One of the other cool things is my dad was never a pool player. So after he retired for the 5th time, he was bored and said, hey, I think I want to play pool. Can you show me some stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I could show you some things, but also what's cool now is they have videos online. So go online and watch these guys play pool. You can learn stuff. So all of a sudden he calls me a couple days later. He's like, hey, all these guys I'm watching all used to stay at my house. Yeah, I don't think you realize who these guys were. So he went from not really respecting or knowing what it is to then being at Fiddlesticks and pulling his phone out and being like, hey, look at all my buddies that I play pool with or whatever. So that was a cool thing for me to see my dad go from what is this to being excited about it and everything like that. So, but I've had a great time over the years playing with all these guys in here and everything like that. A lot of good stories. But I really want to appreciate for you guys inducting me in this Hall of Fame. This is a great honor. There's so many legends that are, it's shocking in this area how many good players are in this area. Just to be in here with these people is a real honor to me, and I want to thank all you guys for everything. I really appreciate it.
congratulations on this award, Aaron. I can speak on behalf of all of us who were fortunate enough to play with and against you. You are a great player deserving of this award. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Brian, he left you out of the great players he's been around too. Our next inductee tonight is Jason Reinhardt. I'm here to present Jason this evening is Hall of Famer Al Massenblatt.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to see everybody out here. I get the honors of bringing in a good friend of mine into this Hall of Fame. Not only a good friend, but just a great man, good father, good ball player, very respected one, no matter where he's gone. I think he thought he could slide into the state of Florida without anybody knowing him, and that didn't work very well. They know him all over in probably 5 or 6 states. I've had the pleasure of shooting with this man for probably 25 years, and I am one of the guys in the friendship group with Jim Alberta. He was with Earl, John Mattia, Jason, and myself. Lloyd Sanchez. We would be over at John's house on New Year's Eve nights for years. It's a lot of fun. Losing Earl was really tough, very hard. We've all been friends for so long, and some of the absolute competitions we've had, just unprecedented, not just the Fiddlesticks, but icebreakers on Youngstown, Mansfield, Buckeye Billiards, and even down in West Virginia too. But what I've liked about this guy is his competition. He's always been tough. Just, no matter where we're at, you can't walk into a tournament and see this guy's name on the list and not think you're going to just blow right by him because you're not going to. You have to respect him. I feel he's entitled to this because of his competition edge from state championships to all over the state of Ohio. And that's what I love about this guy is just unsportsmanship. His sportsmanship is uncommon for it. It's beautiful. And I just love the fact that he's always been around. Great family man. We've known his family for years. And I feel honored to be able to bring him into this Hall of Fame. It's been nothing but an honor knowing him for years and years. So without further ado, I'll give to you Mr. Jason Reinhardt.
Everybody. I know I haven't seen a lot of you in quite some time because my wife drove me home for, it's been great. I don't know how to follow these two, they did a very good job, so, I know you got Bill's game to get to, so I'm making sure. But, starting out, I'm the same thing as Jim, my grandma had a little series growing up, and GCABA, I'm saying, they got plywood, used to stand there and throw balls, with the railers right here. Good. My dad had a table and I played the game on in the basement, so me and my brother would play. He's 6 years old and he's 6 years old. I'll play by myself. My mom worked as a secretary at a factory, so she would go in some Saturdays and some evenings and there's a pool hall called Classic Billiards. And just a little mom and pop place, a bunch of good people in a small town. But they helped me and were showing me how to do things that I never even knew to do with it. I actually learned how to hold a stick correctly, so that was fun. But I got to play against a bunch of them, and actually I was about 16 or 17, I won with them. About 19 years old, I went to Chicago for a short time, and it's a place called Preacher. And there's a couple of guys on Wall Street that own the place, and they paid the guy named Don Preacher Bean for his name. He would come in several days a week. Shocker, I like it. Bad temper, not bad temper, but get mad at the game, piss off, whatever. So, while I was ace in the hole, best person around. I couldn't afford to play there. it's like, that's 30 years ago, it was 12 hours an hour back then in the suburb of Chicago. So I had a deli station in there, so I worked there. We make deli sandwiches for these guys, we were cool. After a while, now he got to know him a little bit better. He was like, "Are you willing to try to learn this game and change some things?" I'm like, "Sure." I said, "Bring it on." I didn't really know who the guy was, right? But then it turns out he was on the American team that beat Europe on the snooker. They had a 12-foot by 6-foot table. Never seen kind of like one of Aaron's field. He was really, really skinny at the bottom, right? So I think it was like 7 millimeters. I ended up playing pretty good on the snooker table. So I thought I was badass. He settled me down and I said, "Well, you want to learn about me yet?" So he racked up 9 ball, had a big billiard table at the end of the table. I sat there. He went on the run 8 racks in a row on me and asked me if I'm ready to listen tonight. So that was really a turning point for me because he showed me things about the game, taught me things about it that I would never know. If it wasn't for that, I don't know how I would have continued as heavily with the game as I would from that point. So that's always great. Fast forward, I think 15, 18 years later, I heard the voice in the elevator behind me. I got to see him. So that was pretty good. So then, come back to Ohio and just kept trying to build the game best I could. As you mentioned, Jim, Brandon, Jim, John, Al, all of us at Earl. We played together for years, won a bunch of different things in state, Las Vegas, we had great times. So we're always talking the best. So, good for her. She's been a huge component. She actually, one of the stories, when we was looking at houses down in Florida, she had a couple of requirements. Had to have a pool, had to have a 3-car garage, had to have a room for a pool table. So by the time we moved down there, it was just kind of a rat race, and houses were selling fast. I'm like, you know what, don't worry about pool table. So she ended up, she said no, and she did not get a place without it. So now when you walk into our home, anybody walking down there, you walk in the front door, there's a pool. That's the first thing you see. So that's where she put it. All my friends don't believe it. They come over and play. They're like, "How'd you get away with that?" I'm like, "She wanted it." Bullshit. So there it is. One cool thing since we've been down there is Mike Siegel came over, and my wife was making prime rib. I'm like, "Oh shit." So I was hoping he wouldn't get sick, but he enjoyed it. He had a good time. So that was fun. And met some good players down there. There's a lot of good players in Florida. Got my ass kicked quite a few times. I just blame it, get old. But we had a good time, and there's a lot of competition, so that's fun. I do miss it up here. I don't know if my friends that are here tonight. I do miss y'all. So I try to come around as much as we can. I'll get those tomorrow. It's opposite days. So, but yeah, it's just an honor. And yeah, like Al said, I kind of thought, probably get forgotten about when we move on, but it's kind of cool. So I appreciate it, and it's great to be in the names with everybody else that came to pay for it. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jason. This award is much deserved. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Safe travels back to Florida. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Tonight's final inductee is Kim Vergatine. I'm here to present her as Hall of Famer Shelley Pearson.
have a problem with the Senate. Well, when Kim asked me to present, I was honored, and I thank you for trusting me to do this. I hope you just don't regret it later. We had lunch a couple of weeks ago. We haven't seen each other in about 25 years. We had a lot of catching up to do. I'm pretty sure the waitress was really sick of us sitting there taking out the table for hours. We have to do it again, but please, don't wait 25 years to do this again. It was a real trip down memory lane. It was a good trip. We can't even figure out where we met. Erin, you may know. If you can ever remember, let us know, because we tried to figure it out. She'll tell you what the bar was laid out as. We just don't know. But when I did meet her, I thought, wow, she plays pretty good. We became teammates real quick. I wasn't stupid. She had the blessings of natural ability to go with her instruction at Akron U and a few top-notch players in her early years. When I think of Kim, I think of 5 Ds: dream, determination, dedication, desire, and drive. She has all of those. The dedication to the commitment of playing on a team. She showed up every Thursday here in the Massillon Canton area to shoot pool in the BNEA, driving from Cleveland in the winter after a long day of studying or working. Cheryl used to get so mad. She's reading a book. She's taking a nap on the couch. Well, in between, sometimes, in between the games, she would study or take a little nippy nap. We would actually line up our stools if the booth wasn't available for her to take a nap, so she would come be. And of course, that was at the Varsity Tavern. One thing in her bio that really stands out to me is the fact that one of the Sleepless in Sandusky events, we all know Sleepless was 100% true. In one of those tournament weekends, she won all 4 events that they had: the singles, the scotch, and the team. Some of you in this room never had a chance to play in that grind of a tournament. It was held over Thanksgiving weekend, but some of you know all too well. As captain of the team, I kept checking in on her to make sure that she wouldn't crash out by Sunday morning because we were playing in the finals of the team event. But with her calm demeanor, she kept saying, "I'm good, I'm good." She wasn't good. She was great. She won all the events that they had. It was an amazing feat. There may have been others before her or after her that did it, but I don't honestly know of anyone that ever did. I tried to find records of what all she did up there. There weren't any camera phones where people were taking pictures or printing out the results on the computer. I contacted Edie, but all those records of the tournament went with Cecil when she left. So there was no way to find dates or years of the BNEA three-man event that they used to hold 2 weeks prior to Thanksgiving, because we rocked that tournament. I wanted to find out how many times that we won in the team and what she did in the singles, but those records are long gone. When they had less than 16 teams, they run around robin for the women. There were several times that we were in the bar on Saturday night celebrating our win, not even having to show up on Sunday to play. I remember the one time we had a big corner suite. We thought we were real cool. And after our win, we took everything back to our room. Now picture this. There's 3 grown women, Kim, Lisa Gilbert, and she rest in peace, and myself, jumping up and down on that king-size bed, acting like little schoolgirls, screaming and carrying on because we were champions. She always told me that she wanted to be a traveling nurse, travel the world, and she succeeded. I lost track of how many countries that she's been to, helping people all over the globe. What an experience and memories that will last a lifetime. Not only a pool player and nurse, but she's also designed an app for pool players on your phone. And she invented this virtual reality thing for training for doctors and nurses. Anyone looking to back her on this project, seek him afterwards. I'm so glad that her family's here. To her nephews, pay close attention to Aunt Kim. Though she doesn't play anymore as much. We're all getting older, our eyes aren't what they used to be, neither are our bodies and some of our minds. If she tries to teach you anything, listen. Just listen. She knows what she's talking about. So Kim, if you ever want to come back, I will come out of semi-retirement, put a team together, and help with you in a heartbeat. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the newest inductee, Kim Bergatini.
Well, I had a speech written, but after listening to everyone else's, I sort of because I thought, I can't compete with that with this silly little speech that I wrote. But listening to each of you tell your stories and bringing, actually some of the things that were said were really bringing back memories for me. I got started playing pool a little bit late at 21 years old. I was a teenager or a kid like some of you. I worked at the Marriott Hotel on West 150th up in Cleveland. And after we would get off shift, some of my colleagues would take me over to the Holiday Inn, which was right next door. And there was a billiard room up on the 6th floor. And that was my introduction to pool, because the person who used to be on the front table was none other than JR, Leo Gay, who I think he's an inductee. Is he an inductee? Or he passed away since. But JR was a phenomenal player. I'm sure all of you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I watched him just so focused, so concentrated, just making ball after ball, playing, straight pool, practicing a straight pool, on routine, running 60, 70, 80 balls a night. It was magical, and it really caught my attention. Within the year, they opened Jillian's Billiard Club in Flats. And a friend of mine who worked at the Marriott Hotel took me down there just to introduce me to the manager and to show me this amazing pool room. And after the manager showed me around, he said, "So do you want the job?" I didn't even know I was interviewing. But he said, "There's free pool time as an employee," so that sold it for me. So I started working at Jillian's, and that's really where I started to hone my skills. I started to come in before my shift, stay after my shift, and practice. And the manager there at the time took notice of that, and Mark Mario was a friend of his, so he asked Mark to come and give me a couple of lessons. And Mark was the one who really showed me a few things, but mostly how to straighten out my stroke and how to have a good stroke. And from there, I started winning some tournaments locally. And then I went down to, I was trying to figure out my life, to be honest. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself. I didn't have any direction in my life at that point. And so then I finally made a decision that I would go to nursing school. And I applied at the University of Akron. And Tony, you're here. I went down, I would go to the Students Center, and I would practice in the pool room in between my classes. I was also working still at Jillian's at night. And Tony came up to me and said, "You should enter the school's annual championship. It costs $5 to enter." That was the best $5 I ever spent. Because he said that if you win, you get to play pool for the rest of the school year for free. Well, I was the champion there for 4 years, so I never paid for any of my pool time. The whole time I was there at the University of Akron. And that's where I met Aaron. And who was it said? I wasn't sure if I liked him either in the beginning. He was so annoying. He was really squirrely and funny, but he did make me laugh. And that's why I liked hanging out with you. But I mean, I was really quite undecided about it for a little while. But I did hang out with Aaron quite a bit. And you took us to a bar where I met Shelley. I can't remember the name of the bars, but maybe we can talk about it after. But also, I was there the day that you met Joe Kerr, and then you met Niels. And I had met Joe just a little bit before that. You were actually quite shy to meet Niels. I remember you coming over to me and saying, "How can I go over and meet that kid from Holland?" Who was very shy himself at that point. But we did meet him. We all became friends. We used to travel around to a few tournaments ourselves. And I like to tell my nephews over there that I was the original tournament. You remember that? So this is a fun story to tell, and I finally have the public space to tell this story, but that was a nickname that Aaron had given me because he always thought I was so mechanical when you do this. You're so mechanical when you do it. Because of the fundamentals that Mark Mario had instilled in me about having a good pre-shot routine and having a very fundamental way of approaching the table. And then Niels went and played in the U.S. Open, and they were an article about the U.S. Open, and included him and called him the Flying Dutchman. Remember that? He hated that. So we're at the bar one day, Niels and Aaron and I think Niels had said, I want a cool nickname like what you gave Tim. Do you remember this? And you asked me, both of you asked me, could he have that name? Little did I know he would then go on to become world champion in straight pull and 9-ball. Anyway, so it's a fun little story that I tell my nephews, and now I get to tell it very publicly. Confirm that that's a true story, because otherwise it sounds quite made up. So I loved that time, and I enjoyed my time playing on Shelley's team. We were the all-women's team. I think we were the only one in the league at that time. We were all quite fierce. So it wasn't just me that was a good player, but we had, I think every single player on our team was in the top 25% of the league. But those are some of my favorite memories in my 20s. And I feel very much that it was a lifelong to me at a time that was very difficult in my life. And I'm very grateful. And I know my mom is watching on the streaming, and I want to mention that I'm also grateful to her. And, I get emotional, but my stepfather who passed away, they would come and watch me play in the national championships at all of my school events. They would fly wherever they had to in the country to see me play. And I just want to say I'm very grateful and I'm very honored to be among this group. So thank you.
Congratulations, Kim. Your enshrinement is well deserved. And while your career spanned in just a short time, your level of play during that time places you as one of the finest female players the Canton area has seen. Well done and welcome to the Hall of Fame. Okay, so that concludes tonight's ceremony. We're going to do the door prize and have Julie Scripton come up, and Chris Maraglia is going to come up, and we're going to knock out the door prizes in the 50-50. I'd like to thank these guys for their super hard work and getting all this done. Julie lined up a ton of door prizes for us, a new adventure.
All right, we will start with, this one's on my phone. This was just a random thing that I put together because we were doing weekly spotlights on Facebook. So anyone who commented something like productive on Facebook is in this drawing for my laundry basket thing. You don't know that you like it, but you probably will. So there we go, and it's on my phone. And the person who wins this one is Shelly. There we go. You're gonna love this, actually. Room basket. League Room is down in West Virginia, one of my sponsors, and donated a basket. If the jersey doesn't fit, Chris is more than happy to exchange it for one that does. Doug Nauer wins the League Room basket. I should have brought my glasses. We'll just go down the line. Next one is Shark Bites. Jimmy Gamble donated a basket as well. And Aaron Zetley. All right, next is the Fiddlesticks basket. Thank you, Chris and MK, for this. And I would imagine if the sizes don't work, MK will switch them out for you, knowing MK. No, he said no. Mike Gearhart wins the Fiddlesticks basket. Next is the Shooters basket. We have a lot of players that play over at Shooters, and Chrissy brought a wreath and a bottle of booze. So, let's see. And a shirt. And I would imagine she will switch it out for size 2. She said yes, so she's not going to be like MK. You have to be here to win. So. Okay, come on, Tim. He's the one that's worried about this going too long. Maria Skelly. Yay! All right, and from, she's coming. The next one from GCABA, from us, we have a $50 gift card to, is that the Longhorn Olive Garden? Yeah, Longhorn Olive Garden, that franchise. $50 gift card, and that is from us. Tim Warner, $50 gift card. Next, we have a $100 gift card from Purebred Hustle. They are a clothing company for billiards, but they also do other things. They made Zach's Mickey Professional Group shirts, and Casey does wonderful work, so you can have personalized things or just buy stuff off their website. Eric Zetley. Next is another $50 gift card. This one is to Texas Roadhouse from GCABA again. Devin Albert, is that what you said? Albert? Congratulations. Next, we have a special prize for any players who are playing for Bell Music. John and Dave Everett are both here. They are our lead representatives for playing Valley in our area. And they are donating a free entry to the state singles this year. So obviously you have to be a Bell Music player to win this prize. So I have another wheel on my phone for that one. So here we go. Anybody who is a bell music player and is here is eligible for this. So here we go. And of course, oh no. Darnell Trammell, is that how you say it? Yes, congratulations. I am going to do this a couple more times just so that we have backups in case I'm assuming you're going to play the singles, but I don't know backups. Yes, okay. I'll do that. Thank you. So Dave and John are over there. Yeah, we'll just arrange that later on, but yep, congratulations on that. Now, all right, now our grand prize, Randy Deininger, Chili, also known as Chili, has donated a chili popper. Everybody's using them, so it is a beautiful cue, and they work really, really, really well. So, grand prize. Another Zetley, Dylan Zetley. The Zetleys clean the house.
The way Aaron plays position, this cue will come in handy. $325 is the winner tonight. Last four, 4, 6, 3, 9. 4, 6, 3, 9. Okay, we once again like to thank everybody for attending. A reminder, there's going to be chances available on the one-of-one McDermott cue. The QR codes are up here. If you would like to screenshot the picture, we're going to offer them at the banquet price, 25 each, 5 for 100, probably through Friday. After Friday, the cost will go up when it gets open to the public. Thanks again. We hope to see you next year.
Check it out, guys. For only $24.99 a month, you get all the live TV channels and networks you can handle, basic and advanced channels, premium movie channels, all the sports leagues, even wrestling, boxing, and your UFC fights.
All right, guys, here's a new promo of the Let's Get Streaming TV LGS application. Here's all your sections. I'm only going to show you brief tidbits of the sections. You get local channels. You get all your basic and extended channels. You get extra networks. You get Canadian channels. You get UK networks. You get all your premium movie channels. You get kids channels. You get all your wrestling, boxing, UFC pay-per-views. You get all your football, all your baseball, NBA, NHL, ESPN, you name it, racing. All these sections, you get music. You also get a full-featured VOD, which I can't really show you in this. But why get a box when you can actually get the service that the box is running? You can run this on a mobile, you can run this on an iPad, a tablet, a computer, a Fire Stick, an Android box, whatever you want. Hit you up, it's TV mic. Let's Get Streaming.
Down